You know what they say in boxing? Truth is stranger than fiction. This guy is probably one of the most, what they call, forgotten Canadian champions of all time, but the title he held, the White Heavyweight Championship, is not really a belt we talk about anymore, but yes, he started the White Heavyweight Championship after Jack Johnson, a very talented black athlete, won the world title, and basically the people that didn't want him to be champion made the heavyweight title. And this guy held the title for a short while. He was a Pelche from, of all places, Ontario. Chatham, actually. Arthur Pelche, known by as Arthur Pelkey. Now, depending who you talk to, his record is either in the positive side or in the negative side. He's been involved in some of the strangest heavyweight fights and heavyweight days of his generation. Now, born October 27th in Chatham, 6'1", fought between a big heavyweight, 206 and 210 pounds. He was one of the white hopes of the time that African American Jack Johnson was the title holder. The height of his pro career and his nadir happened simultaneously when on May 24, 13, he met Luther McCarty at Tom and Burns Arena in Calgary for McCarty's world heavyweight title. Now, Burns had been the world heavyweight champion who had lost his title to Johnson, and the title had been created to crown a white heavyweight champ in light of the failures of successful white hopes to wrest the title from Johnson, including, of course, former title holders. Now, approximately 2 minutes into the first round, the scheduled 10-rounder, the 210-pound Pelkey KO'd the 200-pound McCarty. 8 minutes later, he was pronounced dead. Pelkey reportedly broke down and wept when told of McCarty's death, and Tommy Burns Arena burned down the following day, likely as a result of arson. A coroner's jury ruled that McCarty had died of a cerebral hemorrhage. The ruling held that he had not been killed by a blow delivered by Pelkey, but that the hemorrhage likely was a result of a previous injury. Some people say spinal trauma or neck trauma. There's been different at the time. That's the most investigation you do. Now, Pelkey later claimed that his legal expenses linked to McCarty's death bankrupted him. Now, Pelkey reportedly was never the same after killing McCarthy. He lost a white heavyweight title to Gunboat Smith on New Year's Day 1914 at Crawford Arena in Daly City, California, via TKO in the 15th round of the scheduled 20-rounder. Now, when he retired in 1920, he had compiled an official record of 21 losses, depending who you talk to, but he was KO'd 16 straight times. He also had 3 draws. This also included 10 newspaper decisions, 5 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. Now, he died the next year in Windsor. Now, if you look at the box rec record, and they give him 24, 25, and 3. Again, it depends who's writing the history here. But I want to go over some of these interesting situations because box rec doesn't give too much, but I think I have to put it together. Now, in his last number of fights, he didn't have many victories. Now, the Pelkey, one of his last wins was against Cleve Hawkins. He was billed as the heavyweight champion of Canada. Now, it was in Ford City, which was a Ford Motor Company place outside of Windsor. So technically, it was he was fighting fights in a corporate town. That's a little bit of information. Now, he fought Soldier Jones, of all places, in Sherbrooke, and he got the Dominion championship that year. So, again, considered a Canadian champion. And his famous fight against Jack Dempsey at the Stockyard Stadium in Denver on May 29, 1918, allegedly Pelkey was 37 at the time, stumbled and fell before a blow was landed. He regained his feet and immediately clinched. Dempsey landed a right and Pelkey went down for a count of 6. He again rose and Dempsey landed a left hook to the jaw that knocked him out at the 60-second mark. So you can see the dash. Now, against Kid Norfolk on February 11th, 1917, Pelkey, called at the time a one-time aspirant for the World Heavyweight Championship, was knocked out in 13 rounds by a Negro pugilist named Kid Norfolk, who claims the championship of the Panama City region. The bout was staged at Panama, and for the first 9 sessions, Pelkey's superior generalship gave him a big lead. In the 7th, he almost dropped his opponent, but Norfolk, with remarkable ringcraft, weathered around, and thereafter had all the advantage, winning by a TKO. Now, it was weird. He was going every place, every which way. Fought a ton of fights in Panama City, which of course was a protected at the time, and Tulsa of all people, Eau Claire, U.S., Joplin in the States. The and at one point he also fought two fights in the same day, which I don't think that's ever been seen before. But yes, he did fight. He did fight twice. So I mean, it's it's pretty freaky that the everybody would remember not remember him, the craziest machinations of his career. Now, I don't even know what you mean by newspaper decision, because where do you consider the start of a fight or an end of a fight? Now, now, okay, just to recap, he fought in Australia. He fought in England for a while too, which is pretty well typical for Commonwealth fighters. He once took on a wrestler called Jack McGrath, who was a wrestler known as the Irish Giant. So I mean, the level of his career was quite weird, because it doesn't really show why this guy. Oh yeah, here we got it. In Panama City on November 30th, 1916, he fought twice. He won by a TKO versus Joey Archer, and also against Fitz Brathwaite as well, where he won the KO. Ironically, the two fighters had a combined record entering in 0-15-2. So you do the math on that. So again, Arthur Pelkey, like I said, a part of Canadian boxing history nobody talks about, and I don't think anybody wants to talk about, because it really makes no sense. Now, considering how a fighter comes up in the pro ranks, they'll fight, in prelims, maybe 4-rounder, 6-rounder. But this guy was, when he started his career, like I said, he was fighting internationally, and Australia would pay big money. But again, the fight against Gunboat Smith was stopped after Pelkey rose at 9, unsteady from a knockdown. According to a story to the Calgary paper, Pelkey's wife asserted that he took this fight only because he was bankrupt, again by legal fees stemming from the hearings and the debt to McCarty. Now, getting back to the white title championship for McCarty, the fight ended after 2 minutes of fighting. Again, the coroner jury decided no blow had been responsible for McCarty's collapse, but a death was due to a hemorrhage of the brain. When told at his hotel that McCarty had died, he broke down and cried like a child. Again, we still don't know who set the arena on fire or why, or we just... now, he did fight Tommy Burns, actually, a few months previously, on April 2nd, 1913, winning, fighting to a draw in the Manchester Arena at Calgary. Now, prior to the match, Pelkey promised to finish Burns inside the 6 rounds. Burns said if he could go for 6 fast ones with Pelkey, he'd be ready to fight McCarty or Palzer. After a quick start, Pelkey was dropped for a count of 7 in round 2. He rose rapidly in the 4th round. Pelkey nailed Burns with a left hook, and Burns went down. But he jumped back to his feet and landed a left to Pelkey's midsection. In round 5, Burns put Pelkey down for a count of 4. The final bell sounded with both exchanging punches. Cherry Robinson, the Winnipeg-colored heavyweight who claimed the Canadian title, challenged both men from ringside. Now, allegedly as well, in one fight he was knocked down 14 times in one round. I can't get a second source on that, but it's pretty freaky. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I hope you like what we're doing with our boxing podcast. If you like what we're doing, again, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, boxing is stranger than fiction. Have a good one. Bye.